All right, we're over at Cycling Concepts. We just finished up the Menorah review, and now we're going to go over the nuts and bolts, literally, of the Kinetic road machine. Now, I think many of you that are in the club have probably seen a review on the road machine by Josh. And Dave, I'm going to have you stop pedaling just for a second. Now, right away, the first thing I noted, just looking at the machine, is it's a much heavier machine, a little bit more beefy. So right through here, through the joints, the joists, how this opens up, it's a little bit less steep angle, typically meaning it's going to have more stability, a little bit more quality here in the little nipples that kind of adjacent to the floor. Obviously, a different flywheel setup, which I'm going to let Dave here explain in a second. I was watching Dave put the bike in the system. Again, you want something that's really well put together. These tightening and loosening screws are really well designed, just by how much metal is with that. Again, typically, if it's heavy to lift in regards to a trainer, it's typically going to be a little bit higher quality. That's just kind of a basic assumption. Yeah.
Absolutely, Graeme.
Now, what do you like particularly about this model or this particular style indoor trainer?
Couple of standout things. One being the overall size of the frame and the whole unit itself. It's really great for somebody that's going to be doing interval work, somebody that wants to improve their fitness and come into the spring really strong. The resistance unit itself is pretty unique. You can see that there's a pretty large drum that the tire comes in contact with, as well as a very heavy flywheel. Combined with the fluid resistance, this offers the most realistic road feel of any trainer we've been able to find.
So it's how heavy is the flywheel here?
It's 6 1/4 pounds.
Okay, and then this is fluid, yes?
Yep, it uses a synthetic fluid that's resistant to heat, so it's going to stay very consistent. The harder that you pedal, the more resistance this model's going to create.
Now, unlike the Menorah, I don't see anything connected to this, so there's nothing that comes up here and attaches to the handlebar, right?
Yep, that in essence is the beauty of the fluid resistance unit. It's really just put the bike on, start working out. It's as simple as that. You don't have anything to work with cables or anything.
So unlike the Menorah or unlike a magnetic trainer with a handheld device, this one is non-linear, it's progressive.
Yep, absolutely.
And what does that mean for the everyday cyclist using it?
That means that as you're going through your workouts or even just an aerobic ride, it's going to feel a lot more like you're actually riding the bike on the road outside.
So when you start to step on the gas more, Dave, I'm going to start getting you pedaling a little bit more. So I'm assuming now that pretty much the resistance that he is going to feel is going to be the result of both the shifting of the gears,
yep,
and how much actual muscle tension he applies.
Absolutely.
So if you stay in the same gear, Dave, and you begin to apply more muscle tension, do you feel a change in the resistance in the back?
It becomes harder as you pedal faster.
Pedal a little faster for me even. And right away it begins to get progressive, so it begins to go up, yeah?
Yep, absolutely.
Which is why it's going to feel more like a better road feel.
Yep.
Now right away, for you on the bike, what do you notice the biggest difference between the Menorah that you were just on and the Kinetic?
Right away I noticed the actual feel and the resistance. When you first start off, it's fairly easy. But as you pedal harder, it becomes harder, just like the road.
So it's got a little bit more noise to it, yeah?
Yep.
So that comes with a nice benefit of having a little bit bigger flywheel, a little bit more tension going to the bicycle, a little bit better road feel, right? But let's do the standing test. So let's get in a little harder gear. Let's get you out of the saddle. Again, what you usually want to be looking for is how much lateral rotation both in the frame and in the device itself. And sit for me. Yeah, I mean that's pretty darn smooth.
It's not moving at all.
How much is Dave, I'm going to have you stop pedaling now for me. How much is the price point on the Kinetic here?
The Kinetic we sell for $319, so
okay.
It's a great value. And one thing we never really even talked about is the overall durability. This is engineered so well, it actually comes with a lifetime unconditional warranty.
Really?
Yep.
And in regards to trainers, that's a pretty big deal, I assume?
Absolutely. Some of the previous fluid models that have been in the industry have been known for leaking and just causing overall issues with them.
I had some of those. It's not fun, man. When you spend a couple $100 on a trainer, you want this thing to ideally last at least 3 solid years of abuse, if not longer.
Absolutely. This should really hold up for a lifetime of indoor training.
Really?
Yep.
Excellent. And you use this one personally?
Yep. I personally do too.
I know you guys teach classes here in the studio as well. Do most of your people come in here and use this one as well?
Yep, and we actually have these available to rent for our spin classes so people can actually try them out.
Right. So this one is a little bit above the fitness enthusiast. It's going to be more the avid cyclist and above.
Absolutely.
So this is for the people that are going to be doing my spin classes every week. If you're going to be doing training with me, I'm going to have you in the saddle, out of the saddle. I want something that's durable. I don't want a lot of setup time. I don't want stuff that's going to be failing or causing problems. So this is what, $120 more than the Menorah. It's going to have a better road feel, a little more durability. But again, you're still kind of faced with the problems of there's no measuring devices with this type of product, meaning that it's still up to you to either rely on cueing from me from the classes, or obviously if you have a polar heart rate monitor that has a cadence meter, which of course is one of the most important things I recommend for indoor training. Obviously, again, the resistance is through the rear wheel. So unless you have a power tap or some other kind of measuring device for speed or power or heart rate, you're kind of flying blind. And although I can still get you in great shape without having any measuring devices, you're always going to be served better by taking leftover money that you didn't spend on the indoor trainer and investing that into some kind of device that allows you to do that, especially indoors and out. We'll be talking about that here in a minute as well. So far this one looks like a thumbs up for
Absolutely.
quality. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes. Okay, so about $100, $120 extra. A little bit more of the avid cyclist. So let's move on to the rollers next.
Yes.
And go at a whole different approach to indoor training, one of which I've never done really much myself before. So I'm going to be interested to see how this is. Stay with me.